And now I'm going to turn over to Keith. He's going to tell you what we're going to do and how we chose that remedy.
Okay, so in the proposed plan, one way to look at this document is to cut to the chase on what the Navy's done. And what we've done is, you've seen these before, and you pick up a Consumer's Digest magazine, and everything's compared with a little chart with circles, and the darker the circles, the better, the more effective it is. So we have all these alternatives that you can read about in the proposed plan, and then we have to judge them against some standard set of factors. And there happens to be 9 factors. This is all governed by the law, by federal law. There are 9 factors that we have to judge it against. So we have to ensure that it's protective of human health and the environment. So anything the Navy proposes has to meet that standard. And then it has to be in compliance with all the laws and the regulations and the policies. It cannot be out of compliance with that and still be a proposal that the Navy can make. Then we can look at things that are what's called balancing criteria, which is basically looking at the different factors of what you want to do. How much does it reduce the toxicity? How much does it reduce the ability of the contaminants to move? How long-term effective is it? How short-term effective? How easy is it to do? Or is it going to be very difficult to really get down to cleanup levels with that method of cleanup? And then, as always, cost is a factor. And in fact, when you look at this in the back of the proposed plan, you can see the stated estimated cost for each of the factors. Okay, and then there's modifying criteria, which consists of state acceptance and community acceptance. We have to judge the community acceptance by the input we received during the 30-day comment period, February 23rd through March 24th, of which we're required to hold a meeting in roughly the middle of the comment period, and that is this meeting tonight. Okay. All right, so let's look at the alternatives. I'm not going to go through this in detail because it's all stated in the proposed plan, and if you wish to look at that, you can read more about each of the alternatives. What we're going to focus on is the alternative that the Navy and the regulators ultimately are going to be judged by, and that is the proposal, the actual preferred cleanup method. For us, we're picking alternative 4. I hope you can see it clearly here. If not, you'll have to consult your proposed plan. It's right here on page 11.
I can't see it on our plan. Can you print this off the website?
It's on page 11 here on the plan.
You can't see it. It's too small. Andrea, it's in this one.
You need to refer to your plan.
It's in the plan.
Okay. And it's on page 11 of the plan. Okay, so alternative 4 here is our proposals, which consists of excavation, injecting iron, feeding nutrients to bacteria to create non-toxic compounds out of the dry cleaning fluid compounds, and then doing monitoring of both soil gas and the groundwater. Next. And then we also have to address the fact that there are some places where we need to investigate for radioisotopes. The one alternative is no action. That doesn't meet the criteria as a good alternative, so we have to pick the only other one. And if you've worked on radioisotope sites before, there's generally only 2 choices, and it's either investigate and remove it, or do nothing at all. You have to compare those. By law, you have to show what the no action is like. And then this is the alternative we're going to take, of course. That should not be a surprise to anyone. We're going to do surveys. We're going to see if there's any radioisotopes there. And then if there are, we're going to decontaminate it and remove those radioisotopes. But I do want to repeat that those sites, Building 342 and Lot 69 and the area around Building 342, the Navy has no evidence to date that we have radioisotopes there. Doesn't mean that we don't have to investigate and demonstrate that to everybody, including ourselves, that there's no radioisotopes there. But if there are, if we do find them, then we will remove them. That's part of our proposal. Next. Okay, so the summary is we're going to excavate and dispose. That's a fancy way of saying dig up and haul away the soil of the source area. In that area that Danielle pointed out, that could be contributing to soil gas problems, potentially. So this is what we're proposing to do. Then we're also going to treat part of the groundwater with an iron compound, okay? And then we're also going to treat another part of the groundwater with bacteria that's fed nutrients, and this special bacteria, this is a very common method used across the country, this bacteria will break down the chlorinated compounds, which are like dry cleaning fluids, and make them into non-toxic compounds. It's a pretty common approach. You just have to have the right situation underneath the ground, the right conditions, so that that will flourish and be successful. We have proven through other treatability studies that we performed on the site that this site does meet the requirement to do that successfully. So that's a big part of what our proposal is. And then we're going to monitor the groundwater and soil gas to make sure that we are effective, have been effective in doing this. And then we're going to investigate for radioisotopes, specifically radium and cesium, and we're going to remove if we find any contamination there. And again, those sites, building 342 and lot 69, need to still be investigated. So we can't say much more about that. I don't know, I have no evidence, and Danielle has no evidence that we're going to find anything. But again, we need to demonstrate that there's either nothing there or that there's something there, and then we're going to remove it.